Okay, so today we are going to be creating another very amazing app called a music player. Hang on with me as I show you through how the app works before we go into creating a new one. So the first thing we are required to do is to load all the songs we want to play with our player, and to do that I will click on that icon, and then I will go into my music folder, select all the available songs and the number of songs that I want, play by clicking on the button. If I want to play the next song, I just click on the next button. And if I want to go back to the previous song, I just click on the previous button, which is on the left. Alright, now let's build a fresh app from the very beginning. Log into your MIT App Inventor interface and follow me step by step. On your MIT App Inventor interface, the first thing you will do is to click on New Project and give your project a title. In this case, you can name it as a music player. Now let's go component by component. Screen 1 component. This is the app container. Set the title to music player so it appears in the top bar. You can adjust the background color and the horizontal and vertical alignment to control the app appearance and how child components are positioned. Below the title is the file picker. This is a non-visible component that opens the phone's file chooser so the user can choose audio files. Set the image property to your uploaded media, which in this case is an image of a music player with a plus sign on it. The large black rectangle is called the list view. We use the list view to display the list of available tracks. You can set the background color. The width, you can set it to fill parent, and you can set a suitable height. Note, the list view responds to a selection event when the user taps an item. We load and play that file. Next, we have the file tools. This is an extension. It helps to read storage directories and return file lists. Use it to scan a folder, for example a music folder, and return all the files available. The player 1 is the core audio component that actually plays the music. It's a non-visible component in your designer window. The horizontal arrangement is used to place 2 or more components on the same line. In this case, we are placing 4 buttons, which is the previous button, the play/pause button, the stop, and the next button, all inside the horizontal arrangement. The previous button, when clicked, will find the current song in your song list. It will subtract 1 and then bring back the previous song on the list. Your play and pause button, when clicked, will toggle the button icon between play and pause so the user sees the current state of the music. The stop button stops the music from playing. The next button, just like the previous button, but in this case it will add 1 to the index and then load and play the next song on the list. The notifier is used to show alerts like error messages or confirmation dialog. So in the blocks window, we are going to start by declaring our global variables. First, we'll declare the music position and we'll set it to 1. This keeps track of which song in the playlist is currently playing. The next one is music paused and we'll set it to false, meaning playback begins in a non-paused state. Then we have a song names variable, which is an empty list that will store the display names of all the songs. Finally, we have another variable called the song location, which is another empty list, but this one stores the actual file paths for each song. These variables will help us control playback, manage the playlist, and keep everything in sync. When screen 1 starts, we want to set the file picker's type to audio, so it only selects music files. Then we immediately request permission to read audio media from the device. This ensures that the app can access and play songs. When the app opens, the file picker is set to choose audio files, and the app asks for permission to read them from the device. The next thing, we are going to be creating a procedure to play the next song. So the first thing that will happen in this procedure is that it will check if there is a next song. The if block checks if the current global music position is less than the total number of songs in the global song location list. This prevents errors when reaching the end of the playlist. Advance the position. If there is a next song, the then block increases global music position by 1. Set the new song source. It then sets the player1.source to the next song by selecting the item from the global song location list at the new global music position index. The core player1.start block begins playing the new loaded song. Update the player state. Finally, global music post is set to false, and the play/pause.image is changed to be a pause.ng to reflect the music is now playing. The next, we are going to be creating the list view to check if the selected song is currently playing. The first if block checks if player1.is playing is true, and if the global music position matches the list view selection index. Display an error if the condition is true. And then the notifier.showAllowed displays a message: this song cannot be deleted because it's playing. The else if block checks if global music position is greater than the list view.selection index. If true, it decrements global music position by 1. This is crucial for keeping the current song pointer accurate after a song is deleted from a list. The script then removes the selected item from both the global song names and the global song location list using list view.selection index. Finally, it updates the list view.elements with the modified global song names list to reflect the deletion on the user interface. The play pause.click handles the play and pause button functionality. The first if block checks if the play or pause.image is play pause.png, indicating the player is currently stopped or paused. A nested if block checks if global music paused is false, meaning the player is stopped, not paused, and if there are songs in the global song names list. If so, it sets player1.source to the current song and starts playing it, changing the button image to pause.png. If there are no songs, a notifier alerts the user. The else block after the nested if block handles resuming. It starts player1, changes the image to pause.png, and sets global music paused to false. The main else block is triggered when play pause.image is not play pause.png, meaning it's currently playing. It sets global music paused to true, changes the image back to play pause.png, and calls player1.pause to stop the playback temporarily. The previous button.click handles playing the previous song in a playlist. The if block checks if global music position is greater than 1, ensuring the user is not on the first song of the list. If the condition is true, the then block decrements global music position by 1. It then sets player1.source to the previous song by selecting the item from the global song location list at the new global music position index. The core player1.start block plays the newly loaded song. Finally, global music pause is set to false and the play and pause image is changed to be a pause image to indicate that the music is now playing. The next.click block is a simple event handler that calls a predefined procedure. When the next button is clicked, it executes the call play next song block. This block essentially runs the play next song procedure, which is defined elsewhere in the application, to advance to the next track in the playlist. The stop.click block handles the functionality for a stop button. When the stop.click event is triggered, it first calls player1.stop, which immediately halts the playback of the current song. It then sets the global music paused variable to false. This variable might be used to distinguish between a pause state and a stopped state. Finally, it changes the play pause.image to play pause.png, which is likely a play button icon to indicate that the player is now stopped and ready to play a new track. Player1.completed is an event handler for when a song finishes playing. When the player1.completed event is triggered, meaning the current song has finished, it automatically executes the call play next song block. This block calls the play next song procedure to load and play the next song in the playlist, creating a seamless playback experience. Kindly like, subscribe and share this channel across to other people. Thank you.